Well, it's 9:33 p.m., April 4, Thursday, 2024, and we're analyzing my game again. I played in 1946, Caleb Mayambello, and we're gonna analyze it. Really great game. Uh, the, the accuracy is high, even, but I guess the game is pretty easy, as I do know almost all the lines of it, almost the theory of it, almost again. But yeah, really great game. Even though today has been a very, very bad day, I'm experiencing heat cramps from extreme heat. And I don't know.
Oh,
I'm analyzing my game.
tingnan mo yung ano ko, Netflix pa.
Well, pardon the interruption, but yeah, I am suffering from heat cramps and I don't know, headaches. As you know, really busy day from school. I just finished, or we just finished our festival, and I was out there in the heat, extreme heat, like 45 degrees, 45 degrees Celsius. Just very, very hot stuff from the sun. And I was out there for 5 hours, just walking with a speaker, with with loud music playing on it, and yeah, just very, very exhausting stuff. Well, it doesn't matter now. We're gonna analyze my game. Sorry for the unnecessary backstory. Well, here's the game: e4, e6, d4, d5, and now e5. The French variation, if you don't know, this is what we call the advanced variation. And now c5, completely book, c3, knight c6, knight f3, queen b6, and now a3. My kind of line, the advanced pulse and attack. And now c takes d4, c takes d4, and now knight g7. Knight h6 or knight ge7, it has one idea, but knight h6 is much more flexible, and that's why the engine prefers it. And by the way, this is not preferable if you know the theory. This is not preferable for the lines it will go through. It's very hard, and you will just see. This is not really, really needed, and this would just be worse for white. Okay, just want to clear that out. Knight g7, now b4, knight c3. I followed what my theory is from what I have learned. Didn't even know that knight c3 was much better right now. But knight f5, hb2. I just transposed it. Okay, now a6. I knew bishop d7 here. Played knight c3. h4 was wanted by the engine, and I do notice, but I was kind of scared because I played this in tournament. In my school tournament, I won that game, but I later knew that I should have played or attacked in the king side because I know he's gonna castle in the king side. I later won that game, but things happen. So we got another theory, and now knight c3, knight f takes d4. I did not completely blunder a pawn. You're gonna see. It is all already analyzed. I already knew this trap, or not this trap. This could be a trap if she played it badly, but this is not a trap. It's a very complicated line if you don't know it. So knight takes d4, queen takes d4. If you played if you played knight takes d4, here's knight to a4, and not this. I know some people looked at it, but knight to a4 will be winning for white. So queen takes d4, queen takes d4, knight takes d4, and we're gonna look at something that maybe people would have imagined. Let's say casting queenside, well, knight c6, and there's no attacks. But after knight takes d5, knight c2 check, king to d2, e takes d5, and now king takes c2. Okay, I wanna look at something here, at the move order in which If you take the knight, there's bishop takes d4. And let's say bishop to d7, there's king to d2. You don't even need to castle because we're going to be in the line of check. King to d5, a5, b takes a5, rook takes a5, and now bishop to d3. And then something like this, and rook hb1. And white is completely fine. Very, very good position for white. But he played knight c2 check, king to d2, and as follows: bishop f5 check, bishop to d3, developing whilst attacking the bishop. Bishop to c8 check, king to d2, bishop takes d3, and now king takes d3. Bishop to e7, and now f4 attack. Uh, if you would, uh, if you were listening earlier, why wouldn't I play h4? Because there's rook to c4. And now this makes it hard for me to play something like this, as he completely is battering up. And look at this, it's 4 on 3, but his 3 on 2 is much more advanced, and that's why it's just not ideal. Not h4, h4 is not ideal. That's why f4 was the best move. Casting kingside is a bad move because rook to c4. I completely anticipated rook to c4 and was planning to play bishop to d4 and something like maybe castling and then rook ac1, rook fc8, rook to c3, takes, rook to c4, bishop to d4, and then something like king f8, and then g4, just something like that. It's completely stable, but I wasn't anticipating casting kingside, even though it does look completely normal. It fails to rook ac1, as I already get the advantage, just because he could not make the first move or get the first move. And after b5, a mistake again, rook to c6, trying to consolidate your position. As you can see here, if I try to take that pawn, it's gonna be much more solid for him. Even though I still have the lead, say rook c8 here, bishop to d4. It's gonna be like something hard. You don't take that, it's just gonna be hard for white. It'll be harder for white to try and break the attack. So, but b5 is just a completely bad move, as this fails to rook takes c8. Now, the idea of rook to c1 is that if black does not make the first move again, rook to c6 was like immediate. The idea is that if black does not play the best move, which was rook to c6, you will take the rook on c8. After rook takes c8, there's rook to c1. And this is completely winning. For me, it's completely winning, as I have seen the endgame. And you will see that something like rerouting the bishop is just completely fine. It's gonna be really, really winning. Rook to c4. I finally found this idea of playing your rook on your pawns, near your pawns, to where your pawns support the rook. And now after rook takes c4, d takes c4, king to d4. The e4 was much better, but king to d4 is still fine. f6, and I played my first mistake in the game, king to d5. Already, like I was like, brute force, like trying to brute force. But he also played a mistake, which is king to f7. Now, f takes e5 was much more better, as after king to f8, there's king to c6, king e8, king p7, king to d7, king takes e6, king to c6. And this might look winning for white, but it's gonna be much, much more harder. And so, king f7, I finally realized my mistake, and I played e6 check. Because that f pawn is gonna be an anchor. It's gonna be a helper if that pawn is removed from the equation. So e6 check, king to g6. I would play king e8, really, trying to stop the white king. But he's trying to, well, I guess he's trying to counterattack. King to c6, f5, and now g3. So consolidating bishop to f6, and now after bishop to f6, I completely saw that this is very winning. And after king takes f6, king to d7, c3, e7, and now c2, which is an inaccuracy. b5. It's still gonna be mate, you know. I'm still gonna queen first. So it doesn't really matter, kind of. But after c2, e8 queen, c1 queen, queen to e6 mate. And this is all for Drai's analysis. This is Drei, and advice: play chess, read books, more theory, and Xiao.